In a world where every swipe, click, or tap is shaping our future, technology is no longer a distant dream. It is the heartbeat of Africa and the world at large. From innovations to gadgets to startups and digital lifestyles, Tech Up with Victor takes you round. A show that makes technology simple, practical, and exciting for everyone. Join us every week on Rapid TV as we break down tech trends, spotlight African innovators, and connect Africa's digital story to the global stage. Tech Up with Victor, where innovation meets you.
My name is Akio Sakiodora.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Leo Bliss.
My name is Akava, go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. And I love Rapid TV.
Shout out
Rapid TV.
Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV.
This is Rapid TV.
Rapid
TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it melted down.
Leave it like that.
This is Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. We connect people, power stories, and amplify voices. On Rapid TV, we're rooted in culture and your window to the stories that matter. From news to lifestyle, we inform, entertain, and uplift. Join Rapid TV on StarTimes Channel 176, Nightcomsat. On Rapid FM, we speak your language from the soulful airwaves of Umuahia to the vibrant culture of Port Harcourt and beyond. More than broadcasters, we're creators, amplifying that voice within with powerful content across TV, radio, and digital. Join us at rbnradiotv.com and all our social media handles. One network, one voice. Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. The sound of your city, rooted in truth, driven by impact.
Are you missing out on interviews, music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live.
Caesar Radio.
On Facebook, it's Rapid FM Umuahia. On Instagram, it's official Rapid FM. And on X, it is Rapid FM 965. Tune in to Rapid 96.5 FM or listen to us live on our website at www.rapidfm965.com or radiogarden.com.
Better yet, get our mobile app from the Google Play Store.
Catch the pulse of the Southeast on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Hey, Oyanam, all Caesar Radio.
This is Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. We connect people, power stories, and amplify voices. On Rapid TV, we're rooted in culture and your window to the stories that matter. From news to lifestyle, we inform, entertain, and uplift. Join Rapid TV on StarTimes Channel 176, Nightcomsat. On Rapid FM, we speak your language from the soulful airwaves of Umuahia to the vibrant culture of Port Harcourt and beyond. More than broadcasters, we're creators, amplifying that voice within with powerful content across TV, radio, and digital. Join us at rbnradiotv.com and all our social media handles. One network, one voice. Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. The sound of your city, rooted in truth, driven by impact.
Are you missing out on interviews, music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live.
Caesar Radio.
On Facebook, it's Rapid FM Umuahia. On Instagram, it's official Rapid FM. And on X, it is Rapid FM 965. Tune in to Rapid 96.5 FM or listen to us live on our website at www.rapidfm965.com or radiogarden.com.
Better yet, get our mobile app from the Google Play Store.
Catch the pulse of the Southeast on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Hey, Oyanam, all Caesar Radio.
Welcome back. This is still Rapid on right here on Rapid Television. I would apologize for starting the show later than share the time. Of course, my name is Victor Arke.
And my name is Martha Alo. Good morning to you, and it's super amazing to be here this morning yet again for the big conversation. Yes, we said the antecedents for the conversation this morning, for the big conversation. Yeah, from the start of the show this morning, we talked about a few things that has now led us to the point where this is a full-blown conversation. We're talking about Nigeria, we're talking about invasion, and we're talking about what this truly means for us as Nigerians.
And of course, today we are taking a closer look at a very sensitive and serious issue, what many are calling the Christian genocide here in Nigeria. I mean, this talk has been up on the internet space for a very, very long time, and the back and forth has been ongoing. Situations in the country, cause for concern as we speak right now. And right now, we're talking about the Christian genocide going on here in Nigeria. A lot of conversation has already gone up on that conversation as it is. And what does it mean for us as a nation? What is the whole situation?
Yes.
Talking about the whole situation right now.
The actual thing is, lots of tweets has happened from the start of the weekend up until now. Lots of people have tweeted one thing or another. We're talking about Tom Cruise. There's a video there that we're supposed to even take a look at.
Exactly.
I think, should we do that before we get into the conversation or afterwards?
Yeah, we should go ahead and look at
All
the
right,
video.
let's take a look at that video and a number of tweets that will now set the antecedents for the conversation we're having now, just so that we have built a case around there, and then you understand what we're talking about when we get on with the conversation. Let's see. Do we have that video already?
I'm in bitterness. Yesterday, they gathered at Sector 4. Dagomwe of Fan was there. Dagomwe of Riom, of Rock was there. The Fulani Hardos was there. And the Mieti Allah was there. I wasn't invited. Somebody rushed to my house and said, please, there is something that is happening. I expected to see Dagomwe of Haipang. He was not invited at the sector. The same thing I was surprised. What I said yesterday, not knowing that I will see it today.
All right, that's one of the videos. But although this isn't the video I was trying to talk about, but yes, this priest or this pastor has been one that has been like really vocal about the killings in Plateau State. And if you see the numbers and you see the videos of people that are being taken to their burial sites, lots of coffins, mass burials of people, you just called for concern, and that Nigerians have been complaining about this over a decade now. Right. We've been talking about the security situation here in Nigeria. One of the full-blown security cases here was that of 2015, which till date we're still dealing with. The Chibok girls. We're talking about the Chibok girls, the emergence of Boko Haram and what have you. For over a decade, we have been trying to draw the attention of the government to the security situation here in Nigeria. Oftentimes, when we talk about the security situation, we would hear it being linked to, I think, General Sani Abacha saying, if a certain terrorist group operates in the nation, or if insecurity lasts more than 24 hours, it means that the government of the day has a hand in it. Yes. But you see, I have never really probably taken this as serious as I do right now, especially because all of a sudden, the government is on its toes, trying to sort out the security situation, trying to liaise with the U.S. government, because they know the implication of the invasion that is being threatened by the United States of America. If you look at examples of countries that have been invaded, they have invaded over 155. I mean, yes, the U.S. has had over 155 invasions in the last couple of years. Not in the last couple of years, from when they started invasions up until now, they've had about 155 invasions so far. And take a look at the countries that they have invaded. We're talking of countries like Iraq, talking about countries like Somalia, talking about these countries. Look at what the situation of the country is like after the U.S. invaded those countries. You see, after Gaddafi, that country was invaded,
yes.
Gaddafi was overthrown. Look at, there's no stable structure for that country after then.
That's right.
Look at Somalia. After that invasion, it became a route for smuggling. No, a lot of crimes prevalent in these countries left the country worse than it was. Over a decade of insurgency or wars, over 3 years, 4 years of war after that invasion. Now, we cannot afford to have that here in Nigeria. There are several ways to look at this. Look at it from the angle of Donald Trump. What rule is he breaking by threatening openly to intervene in a security matter of a country? This is an internal matter that can be sorted out in Nigeria.
Surely.
There are other ways to go about it rather than threatening outrightly an invasion in a country.
Of course.
These are the conversations we're going to have.
Definitely.
And these are the things we'll be looking at today on the Rapid Dot.
Of course, looking at the genocide saga in Nigeria, which all began after the video of the United States Senator Ted Cruz went viral on the internet space. And we have a video of Ted Cruz making that statement. Let's first of all watch that video, and then we'll come back here and begin the conversation with our guest, who is already on standby to dissect the matter with us. Okay, I'm being informed right now that we have the talk or the statement made by Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America. Let's go ahead and see that first of all, and then come back to dissect the story together.
They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that. I'm not going to allow that. They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that. That part of the world, very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Well, that's the President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, making the statement there, talking about the fact that they're going to be invading Nigeria if the Nigerian government do not pay attention to the situation of the Christian genocide going on here in Nigeria. The National Assembly has had various comments. We hear that the President of Nigeria will be traveling down to the United States of America to speak with President Donald Trump, and also the Vice President of United States of America, J.D. Vance, and other government officials there, for them to come to a compromise as it is, and get a full understanding of the whole situation going on regarding the Christian genocide saga going on here in Nigeria. The Christian Association of Nigeria, they've had their own stance. It's gone back and forth going on, with the whole situation as it is. But of course, let's we have our guest on standby, who is a legal professional. I thought we
were going to set like the antecedents by putting out the tweet first. Let's take a look at the Ted Cruz's tweet, and the tweets that are made by Donald Trump, and then that of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and then we have the guest.
All right, let's go on
that. Let's look at Ted Cruz's tweet, the famous tweet that he made. Now, he said, since 2009, over 50,000 Christians in Nigeria have been massacred, and over 18,000 churches and 2,000 Christian schools have been destroyed. Now, it is the result of decisions made by specific people in specific places and specific times. And it says a great deal about who is lashing out now, and a light is being shone on these issues. The United States knows who those people are, and I intend to hold them accountable. That is the tweet by Ted Cruz. Now let's take a look at that of Donald Trump yet again.
He says Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. And he went on to say that I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern, but that is the least of it. When Christians or any such group is slaughtered like is happening in Nigeria, around 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide, something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and report back to me. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing and able to save our great Christian population around the world. And this is coming from President Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States of America. And of course, this has got many Nigerians talking. This very tweet has also brought up or spurred up global discussion regarding the Christian genocide saga we have here in Nigeria. And to help us break this down factually and legally is our guest, who is a legal practitioner, a lawyer, and of course a public affairs analyst, Barrister Asim Adams. Good morning to you, sir, and welcome to the program. Hello, Barrister, good morning. All right, our guest is going to be joining us in a bit to dissect this matter together. But let's go on a quick break and we'll come back with this very story together. Do stay with us.
This is Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. We connect people, power stories, and amplify voices. On Rapid TV, we're rooted in culture and your window to the stories that matter. From news to lifestyle, we inform, entertain, and uplift. Join Rapid TV on Star Times Channel 176, Nigecom Sat. On Rapid FM, we speak your language, from the soulful airwaves of Umuahia to the vibrant culture of Port Harcourt and beyond. More than broadcasters, we're creators, amplifying that voice within with powerful content across TV, radio, and digital. Join us at rbnradiotv.com and all our social media handles. One network, one voice. Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN, the sound of your city, rooted in truth, driven by impact.
Are you missing out on interviews, music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live. Caesar Radio.
On Facebook, it's Rapid FM Umuahia. On Instagram, it's official Rapid FM. And on X, it is Rapid FM 965. Tune in to Rapid 96.5 FM or listen to us live on our website at www.rapidfm965.com or radiogarden.com.
Better yet, get our mobile app from the Google Play Store.
Catch the pulse of the Southeast on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Hey, Oyanam, all Caesar Radio.
In a small village in South Africa in 1980, a boy was born who would one day inspire the world. His name was Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Raised in the village of Mbizo, Mandela came of age during a time of deep racial division. Apartheid, a system of brutal racial segregation, would come to define his country's politics and his life's mission. Mandela studied law and joined the African National Congress, fighting to dismantle apartheid through peaceful resistance and later through armed struggle where peace was met with violence. In 1964, Mandela was sentenced to life in prison. He would spend 27 years behind bars, most of them on Robben Island, becoming a global symbol of resistance and hope. The world rallied, from London to Lagos. The cry was the same: free Nelson Mandela. His imprisonment only amplified his voice. In 1990, Mandela walked free, unbroken in spirit. He called not for vengeance, but for reconciliation. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic election. Millions voted. Nelson Mandela became the nation's first black president, ushering in a new era of unity and healing. Mandela's message was simple but powerful. It always seems impossible until it's done. His legacy? a testament to courage, forgiveness, and the unyielding power of hope. Today, Nelson Mandela's name lives on, not just in history books, but in the hearts of all who dream of a fairer world. His journey changed a nation and inspired generations.
Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Before feminism had a name in Nigeria, there was Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, educator, activist, and fearless lioness. Born in 1900 in Abeokuta, she was the first Nigerian woman to drive a car. But that's only a tiny footnote in the life of revolution. Funmilayo was a teacher, but her true classroom was the society. In the 1940s, she founded the Abeokuta Women's Union, an organization that mobilized thousands of market women to challenge colonial taxes and gender oppression. With chants, petitions, and protests, they took on the king literally. They confronted the Alake of Egba, accusing him of corruption. He was forced to abdicate. But Funmilayo's fire wasn't just local. She traveled the world, advocating for Nigerian independence and women's rights. She rubbed shoulders with world leaders and inspired generations, including her own son, Fela Kuti. Even after independence, she remained Nigerians' conscience, bold, brilliant, and unbroad. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti was more than Fela's mother. She was Nigeria's mother of resistance.
Long before modern banking, vaults, or even safety deposit boxes, the Amazi people of Morocco had already cracked the code on wealth management. Welcome to the world of Iguda, the forgotten banks of North Africa. Built over 500 years ago, fortified granaries weren't just for storing food. They were community banks, preserving gold, silver, contracts, and heirlooms across generations. Perched atop hills and nestled deep within the Anti-Atlas Mountains, the Iguda were architectural marvels, thick stone walls, wooden doors, and guarded towers all served one purpose: security. Each family had its own compartment, locked and etched with unique tribal symbols, accessible only by them. And just like today's bank managers, a designated guardian oversaw the safety of every stored item. More than just buildings, the Iguda reflected a deep trust system, a structured way of managing community resources centuries before banks became institutions. Though many remain hidden from global awareness, these granaries are still in use today. They stand not only as cultural landmarks, but as proof that ancient civilizations were anything but primitive. They managed wealth, protected legacies, and structured the future long before banking had a name. Iguda, the original vault of wisdom.
Nigeria's economy, the global markets, what does it all mean for you? From stock market insights to global financial news you need to know, from Wall Street to the main street and of course the marketplace.
Get the answers you need every week on Business Lens with me, Faith Daffer Joseph, as I bring into focus the stories, strategies, and shifts shaping our economy. No angle is missed as I talk about the business, the people, patterns, and possibilities behind them. Welcome to the Business Lens.
Rapid TV, rooted in truth, driven by impact.
In a world where every swipe, click, or tap is shaping our future, technology is no longer a distant dream. It is the heartbeat of Africa and the world at large. From innovations to gadgets, to startups and digital lifestyles, Tech Up with Victor takes you round. A show that makes technology simple, practical, and exciting for everyone. Join us every week on Rapid TV as we break down tech trends, spotlight African innovators, and connect Africa's digital story to the global stage. Tech Up with Victor, where innovation meets you. Welcome back. You're still watching Rapid Done right here on Rapid Television. We do apologize our guest is unable to join us on this conversation today, but of course we're here to give you a various account of the story as it has been unfolding, talking about the Christian genocide here in Nigeria. Do recall that a few weeks ago Senator Ted Cruz posted a video saying that there's been killings targeted at Christians here in Nigeria, what he referred to as the Christian genocide. Then we had the National Assembly come out to say there is no such thing as a Christian genocide here in Nigeria. But however, that there is insecurity going on in the country Nigeria, but not targeted to a particular sect or a particular religion in the country Nigeria. They went on to say that the same group of persons that are killing the Christians are also the same group that are killing the Muslims. But according to them, the proportion of the killings to the Christian is higher than that of the Muslim. Thereby, they refer to it as an insecurity situation or challenge, not as a Christian genocide. We had the spokesperson for the presidency, Daniel Bwala, also came out to say that the presidency is doing all they can do to tackle the insecurity in the country Nigeria. In his words, he said there are no so-called Christian genocide in Nigeria. Those were the words of Daniel Bwala. We also have the Christian Association of Nigeria coming out to say, well, the height of killing against Christians in Nigeria is so high, therefore, there is the Christian genocide going on in the country in Nigeria. Recall that the presidency had a meeting some time ago with CAN and also with PFN, but they've not really had a concrete agreement on what is going on in the country in Nigeria. And now we have the president of the United States of America coming out to say that they are going to be launching into Nigeria to intervene in the whole situation. And here's the reply rather by the president of Nigeria, saying that since 2023, our administration has maintained an open and active engagement with Christians and Muslim leaders alike and continues to address security challenges which affect citizens across faith and regions. He went on to say that the characterization of Nigeria religiously intolerant does not reflect our national reality. nor does it take into consideration the consistent and sincere effort of the government to safeguard freedom of religion and beliefs for all Nigerians. He says religious freedom and tolerance have been a core tenet of our collective identity and shall always remain so. Nigeria opposes religious persecution and does not encourage it. Nigeria is a country with constitutional guarantees to protect citizens of all faith. Our administration is committed to working with the United States government and the international community to deepen understanding and cooperation on protection of communities of all faith. That is coming from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You know, the problem with Nigeria is we talk a lot of laws and we don't actually act on the laws that we have. This is the same country that outrightly flaunts what the Constitution says. This is the same country that the Supreme Court, who they identified as the highest level of authority or justice system, who still flout the orders of the Supreme Court. So it is not about us having the policies. It is not about us. We know how to talk the walk. But you see, this time around it is different. Lots of Nigerians want them to walk the talk. You see, the situation of genocide or insecurity in Nigeria is one that has been on for a very long time. If you are conversant with the happenings in the north, you would see the riots that had gone on in places like Kano State over the years. I happened to be in one of those riots at the time when it happened. I was in the north, at the heart of the north, when that happened. You see people die, Christians being massacred here and there. In Jos, do you know how many times we've had bomb blasts in Just? You know how many times people from churches are being killed? Oh, what community here? We're talking about it. Since 2022, is in 2025 that those people are being taken to court again and their sentence being finalized on. So we cannot deny the fact that the ratio of Christians being killed to Muslim is not proportional.
Not at all.
Right? However, while it is easy to want to claim that there's a Christian genocide, it is also important that we are careful about some of these assertions, especially because, just as I reiterated this morning, every part of the state has its own scars that it deals with. I highlighted that of the Niger Delta, where if you go to places like Port Harcourt, which of course you are conversant with, you know that their water is almost not clean. I had a friend in Port Harcourt one time where she was talking about how when you use the water from the bathroom, you know, you use your slippers from the bathroom, you can't bring it into your room because there's somehow this like greasy substance and what in some parts of Port Harcourt or some parts of Rivers State, they still experience things like this. You know, we're still talking. What of the was it the massacre in Ogoni land? Those people that were being killed. What about the Boko Haram insurgents? What about those people that are being killed in North? So when we call it a Christian genocide, what most of these analysts are saying is we discredit the fact that Muslims are also being caught up in the equation of insecurity that happens here in Nigeria, which might just be totally unfair to that religious sect as well. However, it is important that people are given the freedom to worship. What happens in Jos, Plateau State, we cannot turn a blind eye from it, saying that this is not a Christian genocide. Christians are being killed on a daily basis, and there are receipts to show for these things. But the bone of contention here is, what is the government doing about it? What has the government done about it other than debunking that? What has the government done about it? What statistics do we have to show that this is not actually a Christian genocide? Because if I come and say that this is not a Christian genocide, but Christians are the ones being targeted. Christians are the ones that fall victims of this terrorist attack all the time. You do not have any proof. You cannot reconcile the fact that happens to saying, oh, Muslims are also being killed, so we should discredit the fact this is not a Christian or a Muslim. This is a human problem. This is a human war. I've seen a lot of analysts say that, and I buy into that idea because Muslims and Christians alike are being killed, right? I feel like I've repeated that many times. But the thing is, that invasion we are talking about, let me drop a few statistics here that says that Donald Trump, let's see, from the United States, has a long history of military interventions, like we said. And according to a report by the Congressional Research Service, the U.S. has launched over 251 military attacks from 1991 to 2022, and specifically 469 since 1798. The invasion in Panama in 1989, the United States invasion in Grenada in 1983, all of these invasions, how has it left the country that has been invaded? Because if we are saying, oh, because I see a lot of Nigerians excited about the idea of Donald Trump coming to save, you know, why do we all, this is the effect, this is neocolonialism.
Yeah.
You still think that your savior is outside somewhere, not in the country that you reside in. Why do we have these government parastatals? Is it not to look into matters like this? You swapped the service ships, you did a shake-off, and you retired over 500 of these people, right? Just so that we can get it right. What workable strategies have you presented to the people? Because if you are now saying that Nigeria is okay, we can't say Nigeria is okay because it is not okay. It is not okay that people are being killed on a daily basis.
Not at all.
It is not okay that people are being targeted violence. It is not okay that people are no longer safe in and outside their homes. What strategies have you put in place to ensure that, oh, Donald Trump cannot come into this country because we are working on something? This is what we have been able to work on in the last couple of years. By the way, where is the African Union in all of this equation? Because we cannot jump to going to the US when there's an African Union that's supposed to address things like this.
Of course.
See, this much more than we want intervention. Because if our country cannot do anything for us, then there should be interventions, of course. That's why we have the United Nations.
Right.
That's why we have the African Union. That's why we have all of these unions put in place to look into the security of a country or look into matters within a country when its government is not paying attention to it, when the situation has overwhelmed this government, or when they are deciding to turn a blind eye to it. These institutions or these organizations are responsible for looking into this matter. Yes, I do agree that the approach of Trump is very unconventional. But at this point, what would you have the people do?
Just like you mentioned earlier on, why are Nigerians so excited right now that we have an intervention coming from the United States of America? And the answer also came from some of the analogies that you made right here. Over the years, we've seen that the government of Nigeria had failed Nigerians in several ways. Right now, many Nigerians are looking out for salvation. Many Nigerians are looking out for where we can actually get that help from. Do recall that there are various aids that are coming from the United States of America. And one of the things that President Donald Trump said was that if the Nigerian government do not act swiftly on the Christian genocide saga going on in Nigeria, they are going to withdraw, first of all, those aids that they are bringing into the country in Nigeria. That is one of it. And like it or not, we are so reliant on many of these aids coming to Nigeria. In as much as some have been cut off, but there are still some that we are leveraging on at this point in time. Now imagine those aids taken away completely, talking about some of the health aids that we have here, which has in over years helped to reduce the prices or the cost of getting certain medications in the pharmacies here in Nigeria. Now do recall that the prices of medicines in various pharmaceutical establishments are on the high side. And like it or not, the intervention, medical intervention, some of these aids coming from the United States and other international organizations has helped us in various ways. Now bring it back to the Christian genocide saga that we're facing here in Nigeria. Many times, Christians have cried out to complain that there are targeted persecution coming to the Christian community. And many times what we see or what we hear the government say is that they are working on it. They are investigating these particular issues. And many times we don't get the conclusion of these investigations. Why did Daniel Bwala and some members of the committee go to meet with the PFN, go to meet with Khan, as at the time when Ted Cruz made this particular statement? It was because right now there's an uproar that the international community is now looking at Nigeria a certain kind of way. So they decided that, well, immediately we need to find a way to bridle this conversation, downplay this conversation. And that's why Daniel Bwala and his committee went to speak with PFN differently, spoke with Khan differently, and they did not come up with a concrete solution as it is. They came out of that meeting saying that yes, we acknowledge that there is the killing of Christians. Yes, we acknowledge that there is a killing of Muslims. Therefore, it is a matter of insecurity, not a matter of genocide or Christian genocide, as it's been called at that point in time. And that's why Daniel Bola came out to say, you know, things like there is no there are no such thing as the so-called Christian genocide. That statement, which also kept many Nigerians unsettled, because you cannot downplay a thing as serious as this, where Nigerians are being killed on a daily basis. And the Christian Association of Nigeria came out to say, come on, we stand in our position. There is a targeted persecution going on, you know, in the country that targets Christians. The ratio from Christians to Muslims is higher, you know, than what you're seeing at this point in time. And the fact that we've not even seen a concrete data being presented, you know, by our own government and the National Assembly, other than the fact that they're saying that there is no such thing as the Christian genocide, even begs for questions and concerns.
Yeah, and now you see why Donald Trump also is receiving some level of antagonism. Is because this is the same Nigeria you seem to care so much about, that you want to invade the country to save. You keep putting tightening immigrant laws. You see, they're not able to get into your country. You are revoking their visas. The people, they have little to no freedom whatsoever. These immigrants that you so care about are the ones that you have, these Nigerians that you now so care about are the ones that you are concerned about fighting in your country and sending back home. And that is why it's raising some sort of suspicion for Donald Trump and the US. Because why all of a sudden? Now, let's have that tweet where one of his, I think it was Frederick, someone who called Nigeria an ex-country. You say it's a country that never worked, that there's a president who's, can we have that displayed on the screen? Where, you know, a lot of tweets have been flying left, right, and center. Right, that tweet where he said that, he said, no, let's have before the map, because it was something that was said. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, after that press release that we just read, he said Nigeria stands firmly as a democracy governed by constitutional guarantees of religious liberty. Since 2023, blah, 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 all of that which was contained in the press release. Then we have Gunther Jan. He says, seeing Nigerian president is fighting for his Nigeria, but it was never a working state for all Nigerians. So ex-Nigeria it will be. And then he puts the Nigerian map and says, how many states should emerge from ex-Nigeria? And this is why a lot of Nigerians are concerned, because you haven't even come to observe the situation here in Nigeria. You just have the statistics, right? You're not in Nigeria. You cannot know the situation in Nigeria much more than the Nigerian people. You just have the statistics. Why do you just move from 1 to 100 almost immediately by saying ex-Nigeria? How many states? Because all of these things put together is the reason that whatever invasion they plan will always carry the tag of an ulterior motive. Because you are now thinking about how to divide Nigerian state. You are now thinking about invading Nigeria and carrying out military action in a country which is not supposed to be so.
Not at all.
I think there are procedures before such an invasion happens, right? We are talking about Rwanda. I'm sure that you saw the videos from Rwanda, the CSR, how do they call them? I think, yes, RFA rather, you know, invading Sudan. Think about it when the Nigerian military also comes and invades Nigeria. It will just be Sudan playing out in Nigeria. Sudan is already painting a picture of what RSF is doing right there in Sudan. It's painting a picture of what that kind of invasion will cause to Nigeria. Now, a few minutes ago, I did see a post by Asari Dokubo talking about how he's waiting for Donald Trump and his armies to come to Nigeria, and they will take a lot of bodies of armed military personnel from the United States of America. And then in some part of my brain I'm thinking, you have the power to end or to fall the American military, but you do not have what it takes to go into those communities that is being claimed to be attacked or that is claimed to have religious genocide. You cannot go into those communities to fight those irregularities that you see in those communities, but now your focus is suddenly on Donald Trump, and it's looking like, yes, we know that we have a problem. Leave us in our problem. Let us find a way to live with it, not to solve the problem. You see, if the Nigerian government does not decisively deal with the matter of this genocide by investigating thoroughly into the perpetrators of this crime and holding accountable the people who have been identified as major sponsors of terrorist groups and jihadist groups here in Nigeria, we will experience a revolution, either an invasion or a revolution.
Right.
Either ways, life will be lost in the cause. So what the government should be responsible? And let me tell you something. There is a tweet that I saw from 2014, and that tweet was basically President Tinubu asking that President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan be out from office if he cannot deal with the matters of insecurity, particularly that of the Chibok girls, which is one of the things that the ex-president has come out to say countless times, that one of the scars of his administration would be that incident. That same President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, under that tweet, said countlessly that the president should be out from office if he cannot sort that problem out. What should be done to him right now? Because the statistics look very ugly.
Of course.
From the first 200 days of the year, over 7,000 people, 7,000 Christians had already been murdered in some of these communities.
Some abducted.
Some abducted as well. People are still being abducted, but we celebrate the cheap achievement of, of securing 25 million naira ransom that is being paid to terrorists and 3 people being rescued, when thousands of people in other communities are being killed. So we should clap for the 3 people that are being released by the president, or that are being salvaged by the president. It's an unfortunate situation that at this point in time we have become a laughingstock to other countries and other nations of the world because we cannot keep our house in order. If the president must put an end to this genocide, or put an end to this mockery that he has now made Nigeria, because everyone suddenly has something to say about Nigeria and the Christian genocide, he needs to put an end to it. If he claims that he is able to solve the problem of Nigeria as he promised in his manifestos, as he promised in all of the speeches that he has given, talking about a savior for Nigeria and salvaging Nigeria, then he must find a way to decisively deal with this matter of genocide and bring it to a permanent end. Not by shutting it out, by the way, but by dealing with the exact problem that we currently are experiencing in this part of the world.
Definitely. And we hear again that he's going to be traveling to the United States tomorrow with some of his aides and government officials to meet with Donald Trump in the United States of America. We'll give you updates of that story as it unfolds. But this is all we're going to take today on the big conversation right here on Rapid. And do remember that you can follow us across all social media pages, across all our platforms at Rapid TV, and you can rewatch all our episodes using the official YouTube platform at Official Rapid TV. And anywhere in the world, wherever you go, you can always watch us live on our website, www.arabianradiotv.com. My name is Victor RK.
And my name is Martha Alu, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.